the male protagonist Setsu once again gets summoned to another world. However, his former female subordinate does not recognize him in time, so he directly pats her ass. This familiar punishment shocks her, and she soon realizes that the boy is the former hero, followed by worship on bended knees. Although she recognizes Setsu, she cannot understand why he looks completely different. It turns out that when he fought the Demon King last time, he inexplicably went back to his world with all his memories and strength retained, and became an ordinary high school student. One day, when Setsu was chatting with his classmate Yuhi, a magic array suddenly appeared in the classroom. Everyone was frightened to see the strange portal, while Setsu knew that the other world was summoning him. With a flash of light, Setsu and his classmates were sent to another world, where they suddenly encountered some demon soldiers. As the demons began to attack, everyone was running away other than Setsu. Just as a demon was about to attack him, Yuhi, the girl who had a crush on Setsu, hugged him to block the attack. Fortunately, Setsu defeated the demon with just one finger before Yuhi was hit. She hadn't figured out what has happened when Setsu took her and other classmates to flee away. Just then, the soldiers of the human kingdom rushed to the battlefield, blocking the demons for the students. The commander of the kingdom, Elka, then arrived on the battlefield, ordering all students to retreat to safety. After this, the king of the kingdom received the students. They were treated as heroes from another world. 5 years ago, there had been a hero from Earth, and he helped the kingdom defeat the demons. However, he had disappeared since then. Not long ago, the demons reappeared, while these students followed to show up, which made the royal family of the kingdom believe that they were the heroes who could fight the demons. Therefore, Setsu and his classmates began to train their fighting capacity under the arrangement of the royal family. They must work hard to learn swordsmanship and magic to survive the battle against the demons. But Setsu didn't think he needed training, so he sneaked away. That's when Elka discovered Setsu and ordered him to go back to training. Unexpectedly, Setsu provoked her, saying that only if she could beat him would he follow her orders. Hearing this, Elka was determined to teach Setsu a lesson, only to be defeated by Setsu. Now, Elka finally recognizes Setsu as her acquaintance. Kneeling to him and addressing him as master, she even asks him to sit on her back. She seems to be obsessed with Setsu. It turns out that Setsu is the strongest hero who disappeared. Last time, his strongest enemy was Toma. When Setsu encountered the demons with his classmates, he could feel Toma's magic. He vows to totally defeat Toma this time and then travel around the world. Then the king calls a meeting. 5 years ago, with the help of Setsu, humans signed a peace treaty with the demon race. But now they have taken the initiative to attack humans. So the king decides to go to war with the demons again. For this, Yuhi has been training hard, and she has mastered elementary magic. In fact, Setsu doesn't want humans to go to war with the demons again, and he believes that the demon race does not want it either. All this is likely to be Toma's conspiracy, so Setsu asks his former teammates to help him delay the war, while he will go investigate and stop it on his own. But before that, Setsu must get his former weapon first, so he sneaks into the palace with his teammates. They stun the guards and manage to get Setsu's weapon, a huge sword. On the same day, Setsu says goodbye to his teammates. Just then, Yuhi suddenly comes to the gate for Setsu. She thinks it is dangerous for Setsu to leave alone and wants to go with him. Setsu can only reveal to Yuhi that this is his second visit to this world. He promises to Yuhi that when she becomes stronger, he will take her on adventures. Then, Setsu leaves the kingdom and embarks on a perilous journey alone. Many years ago, there was a well-known jewelry craftsman who lived with his granddaughter Ruri. He made top-quality jewelry, but he was eccentric, as he was reluctant to sell his work to people who couldn't understand its real value. One day, a young adventurer wanted to buy a bracelet, but the craftsman thought the adventurer was too young and unknowledgeable, thus rejecting to sell it to him. It wasn't until the adventurer came up with a lot of money that the craftsman agreed to the deal. Later, the craftsman died, and his granddaughter Ruri, after attending the funeral, decided to fulfill her grandfather's last wish. She set off with a lot of luggage. However, she soon encounters a giant wild boar as she drives a carriage through the forest. Just as Ruri is about to be eaten, Setsu shows up, defeating the monster and freeing her. It turns out Setsu was on his way to the demon continent and happened to meet Ruri being attacked by the monster. He then reminds Ruri that it's dangerous for her to travel alone, to which Ruri agrees, but she couldn't find a proper bodyguard. Therefore, she proposes to hire Setsu, who rejects her as he has more important business, but he agrees to escort her to the next town. Setsu asks Ruri to ditch her luggage and leave only the most important item, so Ruri takes only one bag, which contains the last precious work of her grandfather. Soon after, they arrive in a prosperous port city. Setsu has been to the city 5 years ago, which was relatively undeveloped back then. It wasn't until humans and demons signed a peace treaty did it begin to flourish as the nearest city to the demon continent. Ruri's destination turns out to be the demon continent, but now nobody is willing to escort her there as the war between humans and demons may break out at any time. Setsu also tries to persuade her to give up her plan because it's too dangerous to go to the demon continent now. However, Ruri is stubborn, continuously asking captains to send her there, only to be rejected by all. What's worse, she encounters several greedy knights, who often bully local citizens, not to mention a young businesswoman like Ruri, so they use security checks as an excuse to demand an inspection of Ruri's visa and luggage. There is nothing wrong with Ruri's visa, but Ruri doesn't want to give her bag to them because she knows the knights will definitely snatch it away once they find it valuable. Seeing Ruri reject handing over her bag, they know there must be some valuable items inside, so they try to snatch it. Just then, Setsu shows up and stops them. Generally, knights must have a permit to check citizens' bags, so Setsu asks them to show permits, which these knights do not have. More and more people gather to see what's going on, so the knights dare not fight Setsu, otherwise they may be punished for causing riots. In the end, they can only leave in anger. To show her gratitude to Setsu, Ruri invites him to dinner. Ruri is actually a little surprised, because Setsu, as an adventurer, turns out to be more familiar with the laws of the kingdom than she is. Setsu explains that it was one of his old friends who told him that. As Ruri didn't find anyone willing to send her to the demon continent, she decides to buy a ship directly tomorrow to complete this important task. Setsu is touched by Ruri's determination, and as he is also heading to the demon continent, he offers to take Ruri with him. Hearing this, Ruri is quite happy. That night, they check into a hotel. Before Ruri goes to take a shower, she entrusts Setsu to take care of her important item, which turns out to be the bracelet Setsu bought before. Ruri tells Setsu that it was her grandfather's best work. For some reason, it was handed over to her grandfather for repair after the sale, but her grandfather passed away just after repairing it, so she needs to return the bracelet to its owner, which is also Grandpa's last wish. As Ruri is in the shower, Setsu checks the bracelet. He has given it to a demon girl, and if it was damaged, the demon girl was likely injured as well. Setsu is worried about this. That night, the knights they met during the day come to the hotel, trying to teach Setsu a lesson and loot Ruri's bag under the pretext of checking up on the hotel rooms. Setsu senses that in advance, so he flees with Ruri. The knights begin to pursue Setsu, who does not want to kill them, and thus instead of fighting back, he just keeps running. When they get to the edge of the city wall, where there is no exit, the knights think Setsu has to surrender to them now. To their surprise, Setsu directly jumps off the wall with Ruri, and the legendary monster, Leviathan, actually emerges from the sea and catches the two, taking them to the demon continent. Bewildered and surprised, the soldiers can only consider all this as an illusion. It turns out that in his previous life, Setsu became good friends with Leviathan, and with the help of Leviathan, he and Ruri soon arrive on the demon continent, where they're gonna encounter new challenges. That brings the end of the first 2 episodes of Summoned to Another World Again. This is a very unique Isekai anime, where the main character Setsu is summoned to another world twice in a row. He has the strength, experience and connections accumulated in his previous life, but his identity is new. So many enemies will despise him, but they'll soon realize the one they look down upon is actually the most powerful hero in this world. I'm sure it's going to be an interesting story. If you like this anime, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see recaps of other anime released this month, just leave a comment below. I'll pick the most liked one to recap. See you in my next video.